No matter the field that you're in, there's going to be some important books that don't just give you information, but they actually teach you how to learn, teach you how to think about the topic so that you can kind of take it and go to the next level yourself, that you can actually innovate. The same is true within fly fishing and fly tying. We'll talk about one such book that came out this year today on Casting Across. Hi, I'm Matthew of CastingAcross.com, where I explore the quarry and culture of fly fishing. I love going to the fly fishing show, and whether it be my formal obligations as Casting Across or just simply an observer of everything else that there is to take in, it's one of my highlights of the year. And even though I am not an avid fly tyer, I do it enough that I know the value and benefit of sitting in on fly tying demonstrations. And the kind of people that they put on the stage at these fly tying shows aren't just good at tying flies. They're good at communicating about what they're doing as they're tying flies. But in that half an hour chunk of time they have, there's so much more information they communicate. They communicate things you can change, how you can use that fly, how that fly got developed. The kind of thing you're not necessarily going to get in a step-by-step instruction manual, nor in a 4 or 5 minute YouTube video. And that's why I like sitting in on these. So this year I watched Tom Baltz tie Catskill style dries. I watched George Daniels tie guide streamers. I watched Tim Flagler tie nymphs. And every year I always make a point to watch Tim Cammisa tie whatever he is going to tie, because Tim is a great communicator and he does that on a regular basis through his YouTube channel and website, Trout and Feather. And Tim actually came out with his first fly tying book in the middle of the pandemic. 2021's Fly Tying for Everyone is a great introductory book. I highly recommend it if you're just getting into fly tying. It's a great book to give somebody who is also just getting into fly tying. But the book I'm talking about today that kind of fits those criteria I alluded to earlier is Tying Euro Nymphs and Other Competition Favorites. This just came out this year, 2025, and it's a great book. First and foremost, I want to say that Stackpole is just knocking it out of the park with the presentation, how they're putting their books together. It is made well, the photography is beautiful, the layouts are easy to follow. Those are simple things, but they go a long way when you have book after book after book that you're checking out and that you are reading. So a couple things about this book. This is not all Tim. Tim relies on his friends and industry contacts to give a wealth of perspectives and all sorts of information. Another thing is there's only about 15 flies that there are patterns for in this book, one including the mop fly. But why is that a good thing in such a big book? Well, every fly not only has step-by-step detailed photographs showing how to tie it and instructions on how to tie it, but then there is countless variations that he talks about, that he gets different people's perspectives on, and how to use that fly also. So the photography is great, the information is helpful, but the things that really add the value to this book is taking it outside of this is how you tie a perdigon, this is how you tie a waltz worm, this is how you tie an ecstasy egg. It's important to know how to tie an ecstasy egg, mind you. But it's also all the different things that can go into it to change it ever so slightly, to make it right in a different place in the water column, to make it more appropriate for a different angling situation. That's the kind of information that you would get in a fly tying demonstration, and that's what you find in Tying Euro Nymphs and Other Competition Favorites. So a couple other things. If you're not a Euro nympher, and if you're certainly not a competitive angler, it's okay. We're just tapping into the information that both Europeans and folks from the United States have developed as they have poured their time into developing flies that get down deep, get in front of fish, are easy and fast to tie. And these are the things that whether we're Euro nymphers or competition anglers or just normal everyday weekend warriors, this is the kind of stuff that we can really benefit from. But if you are a person who's interested in Euro nymphing, this is a great book because it not only gives you the flies and kind of the philosophy of how to use the flies and how to tie the flies, but there is also a primer on Euro nymphing in the beginning of this book. And one of the things that Tim does that's great is he just sends you all sorts of different places. He name drops, he gives references to books so that you can go check out people's books, YouTube channels, and guide services if you want more of this kind of information. I highly recommend checking out Tying Euro Nymphs and Other Competition Favorites from Tim Cammisa. I will put information on where you can find this book at his website, Trout and Feather, down below. But is there a nymph that you can't live without? Whether you're using tight line nymphing or a normal traditional method, let me know in the comments below. Then head over to castingacross.com for 3 posts a week on the people, places, and things that go into the pursuit of fish.